Whoa, there she is.
We did it.
Hey, dude.
Hi,
Hey. Hi.
how are you?
I'm good. Some technical difficulties only on my side because that's who I am as a human being. I'm an actual technical difficulty.
Same. It's
No,
cool.
it's fine. Everybody's doing it. It's not a big deal.
It's like a Mercury retrograde or something.
Yeah. It's all good. How are you?
I am excellent and very excited to be here with you. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, me too, dude. Happy World MS Awareness Day.
Yeah. Do we get presents or what?
No, I was telling them earlier that I know the color of the time is orange, but I just could not bring myself to going to get an entirely orange shirt because that felt like that was not a gift. So, and that the day would end, and then I would just have MS still and the shirt, which felt upsetting at the time. So I didn't do that.
Yeah. I feel you. That was probably a really good call because I feel like
hmm hmm
we have MS. We deserve to have things that bring us joy.
We do. And I could not, yeah, good, Doc. I'm glad you are in your PJs. I just couldn't, I was like, there's nothing else that I could do with that shirt after. And I mean, like, I've got a decent fashion sense, but not, like, let's not get crazy, you know? Let's not overdo it. Mm-mm. I don't like to overdo it.
No. I liked
Mm-mm.
it, but not with the orange.
That's fair. That's fair. This is exciting. Well, welcome, Jenna. How are you doing today? How are you feeling? How's the pup?
Dixie's doing great. Thanks for asking.
Yep.
So she's got a bad back, kind of like her mama. She's doing
Mm-hmm.
kind
Mm-hmm.
of like her mama. So we got a lot in common. So that's how it is. But she's doing great, and I'm actually feeling really good. I have
Good.
some injections coming up for my spasms in my feet, but I've been doing a lot of physical therapy, and I'm feeling actually really strong. So thank you. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling, yeah, this week was tough. This week was tough. I had some really strange like breathing symptoms midweek, which was very strange. You know, MS is one of those like guessing games, you know, and then you're constantly trying to not overthink it so you don't send yourself into like whole shock over processing all of the information. So, you know, it's one of those things that I think I don't know. I don't think, I guess you don't ever really get used to it. Even after all these years, you know, you still kind of get surprised at just how much you don't know about your own body and all of the symptoms and how they can change and things like that. So, you know, MS, just the gift that continues to show up and give itself without any return explanation or receipt or store credit. hmm
Right?
That's how I'd like to, that's how I think I'd like to package MS as a, you know, when you're like, tell me what it's like. You can't return it ever.
And you didn't ask for it. It wasn't on the register.
Mm-mm. No, no one registered for it. And like then they keep giving it to you. You know what I mean? Like every time. It's like that, but worse.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's
Mm-hmm.
really changing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's different
Where?
for everyone. So, MS fun facts right there.
Yeah. Well, I just you know, we're supposed to talk today. We're supposed to kind of give some overview and some insight. So I want to make sure to open it up to the lovely folks that are tuned in and watching with us. If you are an MS warrior survivor, if you have someone in your friend circle or your family that is struggling with MS, you know, feel free, shoot us questions here. We're going to do our best to kind of keep up with these on here. But our main goal today, as it's been, you know, for both Jenna and myself, is to be advocates for a disease that really lacks quite a bit of representation. And although today is a global awareness day, this is something that affects the lives of so many people from the moment they start to feel it, which may be years from their diagnosis. You know, Jenna and I were two different stories that weren't diagnosed right away. You know, so that whole time you are dealing and rectifying with your body just not quite feeling right. So for anyone out there that, is at a kind of a crossroads in their own health journey, that, may be dealing with something, like I said, with friends or family, please feel free to shoot us some questions. And we'd love to give whatever insight, we have. So, Jenna, I mean, let's just jump into it. Like, can you just kind of tell me how it's been for you since your diagnosis? What has that been like? Like, have you had more ups than downs? Like, what's kind of the everyday for you?
It's been a roller coaster for sure.
Yeah,
There have been a lot of ups and a lot of downs,
yeah,
and parts in between, smooth parts in between. But in summary, it's definitely been a roller coaster. But I mean, whose life isn't?
mm,
It's given me such a good perspective on that.
yeah,
I was, I mean, I was diagnosed pretty young. I think I first had symptoms like in my late 20s, but I was in a car accident, so the numbness and the tingling in my legs and my hands was kind of blamed on my back pain and the car accident, and I blamed it on that too,
hmm,
and then I had my first optic neuritis, which was a very clear symptom, and I'm very privileged to live in Boston area where we have some really great hospitals, and despite kind of, blown off by the ER doctor, saying I had vertigo, go home, because, he didn't know better. He just, I kept advocating for myself. I realized, hey, this isn't going away. I'm going to have to go and see a different doctor. I mean, see a neurologist. And once I did go and see a neurologist, I was lucky, very lucky to be diagnosed. So I'm very grateful for that, because I know it takes many people years and
right.
a long time. How long did it take you?
Um, Gosh, by the time the symptoms really arced up, we had maybe been to three doctors and a couple of hospitals. It was a trauma ER doctor that finally diagnosed me. But I hadn't been able to walk for a few weeks. And I had almost lost complete functionality in my hands, my ability to handwrite. So that had been going on for some time. But it again looks like so many different things, and everyone's just always telling you other ways that you should be healthier and things that you should try. And and then again, they're sending you home. I had violent vertigo as well, and they were just like, "Oh yeah, you've got an inner ear infection," and I was like, "Cool, cool." And he was like, "Have you done any diving?" I'm like, No. Mm-mm. Actually, never. No, because it's not. Mm-mm. Nope. No. I dive into email uh, or a decent book, but like scuba? No. Mm-mm. No,
I
not as, no.
But no scuba diving, no thank you.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Yeah, and they were like, "Oh, well, yeah." Mm. Oh, here's a question. How do you cope emotionally with the uncertainty of MS? Oh, do you want to take that, Jenna? I'll answer after you.
Sure. Hey, well, I think for me, a big part of coping with the emotions has been therapy. I have struggled with depression for my greater part of my adult life. And MS, the gift that keeps on giving, has given me some anxiety too, especially in this last year, but I kind of think that might not be MS. But, you know, so I am very grateful that I found a good therapist after my diagnosis. I don't think I really truly processed anything for that first year. Um,
Mm,
I had a lot of other things going on, and other unrelated surgeries, and I was just trying to survive. I was in survival mode. But for me, therapy has helped a lot. A good supportive family and friends. One of my friends is on here today. Oh, a bunch of them, I guess. Hi, friends. It's been amazing for me, because the thing with MS is that everyone is different, but we there's some greater understanding in the MS or chronic illness community. So when I first was diagnosed, I did feel compelled to share because I knew I had a privilege and a platform, and I saw some serious inequities and some serious problems in our healthcare system. And I wanted to talk about that immediately. Like, I was just like, no, this is not cool with me. So I wanted to talk about that. And I do marketing for a job. And so I just started talking about it. And that for me has been also very therapeutic. It's helped me cope a lot with the emotional ups and downs because I know I'm not alone.
Mm.
So that really helps. And of course, my dog, you got a cuddly dog, like when you're having a bad day, and journaling, and I do yoga and meditation, and all the things that you could make into a meme. I do all the things that you could make. I'm a meme I'm rocking it.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
and none of those things cure the emotional difficulties of MS. None of those things cure my depression or my anxiety, but they're coping tools. So I think our tools have to adjust. I used to have a lot more tools that were like leaving the house. Now they're a little bit more inward.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I've done that over this past year, become more inward, more journaling, more meditating.
Mm-hmm.
Meditation room right now, actually. So um, those are my personal coping skills, but I would love to hear yours, Ashura, and see how you
Uh,
cope.
yeah, I mean, coping, I think is different for so many people, similar to what Jenna said, community, being able to advocate for yourself, making sure that you have a good medical team that is responsive and is listening. For me personally, the first few years were super scary. When I got diagnosed, there was not a lot of information around, and the internet had not yet kind of turned into this groundswell that is today, where people are constantly getting on in these virtual spaces and creating space and community for one another. There's so many different ways to find support amongst the symptoms, amongst the hard days, amongst the days where you're just not able to talk or you just cognitively can't keep it together. I think that community would be the catalyst to getting through any type of disease like this. It has taught me a great deal of patience. I am in the ending stages of getting my mom into she's in late stage Alzheimer's. So there was a huge support group for family members that was humongous for me. Like I've been handling that by myself with my sister and it's been impossible. So having MS has felt like a lot of impossible spaces at times just because it's simple things that you're just not able to do for yourself. They're very basic things that would be considered nuance or very passable by an able-bodied person. And so just sitting there waiting to have my hands then reconnect with my brain so I can tie my shoes so I can go outside is frustrating. That's annoying. So, but you really do you've got to just have a lot of talks with yourself. I don't do any of the stuff in the memes. I cannot stand meditating. Yoga and me do not get along. I'm just now coming around to these apps with the sounds. So some light bulbs to change colors. I've been kicked out of yoga class 2 times, but I was talking the entire time. That was years ago. I just thought that was a good space to have conversation, and apparently was not a great space, which is okay. I row, which has been fun on this cool machine. That's been neat. And I hang out with Bella a lot. So she is out of control. She keeps me very busy with all of her antics. I'm her service human versus her being my service dog, which also gives me a lot of purpose, and that's super nice. So, but I think the community has been an incredible resource to get through all of the days that just don't make any sense. There are some days where, and I'm sure you've done this too, Jenna, where you can just sit and just read, and at least you can just do that or listen. There are some days where, like you're talking about optic neuritis, that's no joke. or your eyes then just decide to just, oh, we don't want to do that either. We would like to not look or focus today. So then there are days where all you can do is just listen. You're not texting, you're not emailing, because that's not functionality that you have. So it's nice. It's nice to have something to listen to. It's nice to have some space where you do feel like you're not by yourself. And that's been humongous. And I don't know that I give these communal internet virtual spaces enough credit for what they can provide, especially in the time that we're in right now. So I love you for pointing that out, Jay. That was and thank you for the question. Thank you for the question. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. We had a question come ahead of time, Jenna, and I think this is important. What to do when you're having a tough day or a tough week with MS, which we never know when those are going to be. Our intentions with MS is cute. I like to say that's cute. It's like, it's a cool thing for me to like make plans and stuff. Like, it's cool. And it continues to get more cute as time goes on. It's like, oh, you thought you were going to do something today? Oh, that's cool. That's super cute. Come here. Let me show you what, come on. Yeah, that's what having MS is like. So what's it like for you, Jenna?
I mean, I think that's a really excellent description. And I kind of already forgot the question because I have.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. You know what? That's fair. That's fair. So I'll repeat it for you. So what to do when you're having a tough day or week? And folks that are watching, Jenna brings up a huge point. Cognition, not our friend. Cognition and multiple sclerosis, y'all. People think that it's us just not wanting to stay invested, or that we don't care, or like you're kind of flippant. Nope. Just in one ear. We're not sure if it's out the other. It's definitely not with us though.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It went somewhere else, but and you have my full attention. I mean,
no, yeah. No, we're here. We're definitely with you. Just like, what? Also,
right? You're just like, come on, brain. What were words? Words, like words are hard. So when a tough week in MS, a tough week, a tough day, tough time, it's hard. This is even probably the hardest thing. I still struggle with it, but you have to ask for help. Oh,
man.
I know, and I hate it. I'm not gonna lie. I don't enjoy asking for help. I know I don't think it's real super easy for anyone, but asking for help and leaning on that support of your community, of your whether it's this online community, your family, your friends, your dog. I mean, dog mom like, but I'm gonna steal that line about the service human. I might have to borrow that.
You can definitely borrow it. She is on vacation permanently.
Yeah,
so
I'm Dixie's service human, that is for sure. So
yeah,
she keeps me going, and she gets me out of bed, and that is wonderful. And I really tried to learn how to reframe a lot of things to give myself some grace, and just be grateful for finding those small things like joking about my dog, or seeing my friends on the internet, and a good cup of coffee, or like a nice smelling candle. Like, seriously, the smallest things, like a text message from a friend, like a funny meme. It's for me when I'm having a rough time, and it was a rough week for me too. I mean, like with my being the service mom of a hurt dog, it's been heavy. It's been heavy, but just knowing that I'm not alone, and kind of leaning on those people as I can, and knowing that as much as it's hard for me to ask for help, that they they are here for me, and
Yeah.
they don't let me down. And I'm so grateful, so grateful,
Yeah.
so lucky, so lucky. So how
Nice.
do you get through a tough week? Or
Same, I try to just rest when things get too overwhelming. I've been doing this thing where like I'm shutting my um phone off, or so it's not ringing or going off all the time. Like, so like I go to bed, or if I'm not feeling well, I'll just like lay down and I'm like, okay, rest, and I think I'm feeling the change in the disease as I'm getting older. With the weather and all of the different things, like it's becoming more difficult to just kind of keep going constantly, even though I would love to. The days are heavy. I think that's a really good way to describe them. Some days your extremities feel like that too, or you just can't do anything. Everything just feels freaking impossible all the time. And you're looking at it like, this should be easy. I should be able to do this. But it could be something as simple as, like you said, reframing your perspective, or I'll wake up and like my hands are super swollen at the moment. So I can't get any rings on. I have a watch, I wear it on my other wrist because it keeps this arm from flailing all over the place just because there's some weight on it. So it's like little things. I'm like, I could get bent out of shape about it, or you just shift, right? And you pivot and you just keep moving. And if you can't move, sit down, just chill. And I think I love what you said, Jenna, like ask for help. As frustrating as that is, ask for help. And sometimes it's not always a physical presence. It's just, I'm not going to get to this today. And maybe I don't even have the bandwidth to tell you that. Give me grace. And when I get back to you, I'll get back to you. Period. Full stop. Like that's it. And that's help too. But that's the support we're talking about, right? That's the support about advocating for yourself. And, we need our family, our friends, our colleagues to understand the disease, because sometimes you don't have the foresight to even know that relapse or that burnout is coming. And it's not the standard burnout that other people feel. Ours is exacerbated, so it's having that support that can be mindful enough to just be like, maybe it's one of those days for her.
right,
Maybe she's having a tough day today. Not, I didn't hear from you. You didn't get back to me. This and this and this, warm regards, yada, yada, yada. Like you don't need all that. You don't need it. So but that's it. That's an exercise in human grace. That's an exercise in humanity. When you're talking about disabilities, especially when you're talking about autoimmune diseases, and you're talking about diseases like MS that lack representation, and because of the lack of representation, they lack awareness, which is why a day like today is important. That's what happens. You end up becoming falsities because somebody can't see that something's wrong with you, because they don't know what MS is, because they've never heard of it, or, well, I just didn't understand why you didn't get back to me. So it's those ways that we can continue to grow our global awareness, for those of us that may not have it, that may not have ever encountered it for themselves, for their family, for their friends. It is about people like you, Jenna, people like, those that are watching, just with us on this live, that spend their every day advocating for this. That's why this community is so important. And so the hard days are getting easier as I continue to say, hey, this is too much, or I have this thing and sometimes these things happen. So I don't know. That was a very long, disconnected answer
that
or
was
whatever.
very helpful because it's true. As we all raise awareness for invisible illness, hopefully, people have more empathy in general.
Yeah.
Don't know what anyone else is going through. You can't tell by looking at them.
Right.
Whether you're using a mobility aid or not, you can't.
Right.
It's all invisible. also, some general empathy, kindness, and understanding. Just that's what we're talking about. It's literally humanity.
Yeah. Yeah. And it goes so long. It goes such a long, long way. Like that's it's huge. It's really huge. Jenna, what is like some, we kind of have talked about this in the overall, but like as far as like advice for people who are newly diagnosed or at a changing point in their diagnosis, what do you do for yourself to make sure that you stay involved in your treatment? Like how do you kind of traverse your long-term, management of this thing?
I think it's important to remember that you are in charge. You are in charge of your own healthcare, and it doesn't feel like that. I think diagnosis in general felt for me very disempowering. You've got this disease. I can't control my eyesight, my fatigue. Now I can't control my feet. I can't control my limbs. Like, now I make jokes about like how I might kick my neurologist, but um, because I like to laugh and that helps me.
Yeah. Well, you got to be careful. You know what I mean? I personally think that that's you showing kindness, like don't get kicked.
I mean, dude, you got to be careful. Exactly. So I
Hmm.
think that's
Hmm.
very, I think that's very important, is to, kind of keep a sense of humor with it all, but understand that you are in charge. You are the one that knows your body the best. And even when you don't understand exactly what's going on with your body, you still are the one that's experiencing it. And your doctors, um, if they aren't making you feel validated, if they don't make you feel like your opinion, your whatever you're going through is valuable, then I think it's important to remember that you can find a different doctor. And
Yeah.
I know that again, I'm privileged because I live in an area where there are a lot of MS specialists, but it is important to find a team that you feel like you can connect with. And I don't
Hmm.
know, I know that you have a really great neurologist actually. So, as well. So I know that for me, that's made a big difference knowing that I'm in charge of my healthcare and just trying to be my own best advocate there in advocating for myself. And that's not me being bossy, although, I am kind of bossy, but like, I own it. I am kind of bossy, but I am also the one in charge of my life and my health. And, it's okay to ask for a second opinion or, find a doctor
Yeah.
you feel like validates you. And that's part of being your own best advocate. And
Yeah.
I'm very passionate about that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's key, making sure that you stay committed to finding people in the medical field that you trust and that you feel are listening to you. There's not a lot worse than feeling physically unwell and somebody being like, "Oh, you're okay."
Hmm.
Feeling like you're not able to communicate what's going on with you appropriately so that someone can then help you find the best avenue to advocate for your own health. Like we really do struggle and take that for granted. So it is really important that when you are communicating with your medical team, someone asked us a little while ago what medications have worked. Now, Jenna and I are not doctors, on TV either. But I would say we're not here to necessarily give you medical advice, but find a team that is going to listen to the symptoms. Find a team that's going to constantly be asking you, how is this thing working for you? And give you some other alternatives. And also, y'all, read and research as much as you can. MS patients, I mean, Dr. Williams, when I met with her in Atlanta, told me that some of her MS patients have been the most well-informed patients she's treated across the board in her medical career, just because we have to advocate for ourselves because there is so little information on what this thing actually is. And it can take off like a freight train if you're not paying attention to it. So you want to be looking and reading into things that cause inflammation. You want to be thinking about trigger spaces. You want to be thinking about dietary things. You want to be just paying attention to spaces in your personal life that are causing you anxiety and stress. And does that stress lead to a physical ailment? Because so much about what happens in flare-ups with MS has to do with what's going on in your life. Is there something in your life that's helping to keep you sick? You know, you can live well with this thing. You can be strong. You can get through it. And so many of you, as I've just signed on to the project, I'm probably one of the newest in this advocacy space, because the last thing I wanted to do was represent one more space that I, as a Black woman, would be told that I was unable to do something excellent or unable to do something well. But there are so many people talking about ways that they get through, things that make them happy, their pets, making sure they get up every day. Bella's the same. Bella is crazy. But every day I get up and every day she has the same antics. And, you know, she does know if I'm having a bad day or if I'm not feeling well. And it's important, y'all. It's important to not get stuck in that despair to where you just feel like, oh, well, never mind. There's no cure anyhow. And this isn't a popular disease. And people don't really talk about this. And nobody really knows what it is. And hell, I don't know what it is either. Like you can go so far down a path that isn't positive, down a path that doesn't have any light. So we have to be thinking. We have to be thinking constantly about where we find our joy. How do we get up? And if you can't have a good physical day, how do you stay enlightened? How do you continue being motivated? Is there space that you can either be a part of or hold for somewhere else, for someone else? Is there a place where you can just go listen? Is there something that you can do? There are so many spaces, y'all, but the way that we get through this is not by silence. The way that we get through this is by speaking up and asking for our needs to get met. And that's going to be so huge and so important. So if that means that Jenna and I do more of these talks, we're here for that. We want to do that. We want to hear what's going on with y'all. We want to hear what's working, what's not working. And we want to know what are the resources and networks we can help to provide and connect you to, because that's how we're going to get people invested. And that's at the very least how we're going to get more awareness out about what this thing is. So when you say I'm having a bad day, people start to take that seriously, because that's important too.
I'm 100% here for all of that. I mean, yeah. If there is nothing else that I've gotten, I mean, like, you know, this disease, it gives you a lot of gifts. Most of them, they suck. Most of the gifts from MS, 0 stars, do not recommend. But this community, I do not recommend it. I'm just saying. But, you know, you can still have a 5-star life with MS.
Yeah.
MS is 0 stars. I don't recommend it. But you can still have a 5-star life with MS. And that's, you know, that's why I started speaking out as well, because I realized I had a privilege, a platform, and a voice, and the support of my family and friends. And I know I don't look sick. I know. Thank you. I don't know what sick looks like, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do I look sick like what? Because of when I'm not wearing lipstick? I mean, like, what do you want me to do? I still like lipstick. Sometimes I mess it up because my hands get a little twitchy. You know, you can fix those things. It's okay. But,
yeah.
You know, I personally appreciate you speaking up a lot. I know that the community does as well. Representation is so important. And, you know, you go, even when I was diagnosed just 5 years ago, you get like these pamphlets at the doctor's office, and they're like all old white ladies in wheelchairs. And
they love a pamphlet. The pamphlets in the medical field, y'all. If there is anybody on this live that helps in the design department, of the pamphlet department in the medical space, like what I'm saying is like they're not great. You know, we have the disease. So I would think we are partially the target market. Like what I'm saying is I didn't feel better either. The pamphlets made me feel a little bit sad. The pamphlets weren't great, Jenna. They weren't great. I
They
didn't love the pamphlets.
they weren't great for me either, Azure. And I am a white woman, so at least I can, in some way,
Right,
relate
right.
to the
Mm-hmm.
fact that I could one day be an old white lady. Um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I,
Mm-hmm. And you know what? That's funny because I thought to myself, oh well, I must have not got the right packet because I didn't see they didn't have any black people in the pamphlets. Just so that's so true. So I
that's
thought they must have given me the wrong packet. Mm-hmm.
right. That is a serious
Yeah.
problem, and
Mm-hmm.
um, like that's why it's so wonderful that you are speaking up about your life with MS and you know, I'm not gonna lie, I fangirled on you when you were on TV, and I was like, this is amazing for representation because it is, you can be young and healthy looking and beautiful and all races and all types of people from all backgrounds. There's like,
Just to be clear, she did not say all racist.
oh
She
God,
said races.
race.
Mm-mm. It's cool. I just wanted to help out. Things
Thank
go wrong, Jenna. You know,
you.
people
Work
get it's
hard.
a very sensitive time. Races,
All
you
race.
know, and our team is probably watching this and in full panic mode because they told us both to keep it together. They told us not to just get on Instagram Live and act up. And Erica, we are going to pull it together. We are going to cinch this up. We are going to cinch it up. I'll have you know, everyone, that I have 3 pages of notes for an Instagram Live. I have never in my life seen a 3-page document for an Instagram Live. Like Jenna and I have been given very strict parameters as to what not to do on Global MS Awareness Day. We are in rehearsals. We have sound checks. We are committed to this. And yes, the pamphlets, they're not great. We need new pamphlets. We need a cure first. Just if you're also watching that, first is the cure. Second, better pamphlets.
Mm-hmm.
Jenna, that's a
I
summary. Does that feel?
That's all we needed to say today. I think that was the 3 pages. I got them all.
You have the pages? Yeah, because I didn't see the pamphlets on any of the pages.
No, I
I
didn't.
checked in, and so first Instagram cure. And Jenna and I would also like to give some information. Just here's a couple of tips as we are all headed out into our regular days, okay? Not global MS awareness days. Number one, if you see someone with multiple sclerosis that has a tremor, we call them lots of things, a bit of a shake, any, just a little something. No, it's not a dance vibe. That's not a whole mood. That's a symptom of the disease. Yeah, we're not Harlem shaking. That's not a shimmy. That's
I
no.
Peter tap dancing, but they're not.
Right,
Acting like
right. So that
about it because
yeah,
it's
so your body tends to like do it gets a little bit like hip. It gets a little excited sometimes without our approval, okay? That's not us wanting to do the wobble with you wherever we are. That's not what that is. Secondly, when you see that, do not offer us a glass of water. I'll repeat that. You see the shaking in the foot, the hand, the arm, this here. You see me with the vocal tremor. No, what I don't want is a glass of water. Jenna also does not need water. Nope, not at the time. Maybe later. some water later because hydration is very important. But whilst it's happening, push down your impulse to offer us an immediate opportunity to hydrate ourselves. Jen, how do you feel about that? Does that feel like something you can co-sign, Jenna?
I agree.
Secondly, when you find out that we have MS, multiple sclerosis, which is not many sclerosises, we can talk more about that later. But when you find out, when you find out that we have MS, don't then say, "Have you heard of turmeric?"
Or
I want to tell you something. We have we have heard of it. And you know what? I'm going out on a limb here, speaking for all of us as the monolith we aren't. I guarantee we've taken it. And you know what else? We still have MS. So I say all that to say, I don't know what's this. No water, no turmeric.
no.
We got it. We got it. We need two things from y'all. You remember what they are? Jenna?
No water. We don't need water. I mean, like not in this moment of the tremor, and we don't need turmeric. We have heard of it. I mean, we've tried it. We have. Thank you. And I like to think that people are kind and they want to help us, you know. And this goes for less for my like immediate family who knows what I've tried and gone through, but more for like random people that, you know, we may strike up a conversation in the coming future. No, it's more like that, like the strangers. You don't need to offer me a water or turmeric or something. No, I've heard of it. Like I use the Google. It's cool. Thank you.
And they're like, juicing. I was like, yes, I have. I do it. I do juice. So, listen.
I don't juice. That's the thing I don't do. I mean, I tried.
It's okay.
I'm not.
You're okay.
I tried it because I've tried a lot of things, you know, but it doesn't really work for me or my life. I'm not a fan. So, you know, and that's the thing is that you got to do what works for you. And it's if friends and you like share with me this cool, like this great smoothie recipe that you have, you know, I want to hear about it. Cause like, you know, I could get down with that. Like I would like to have a new smoothie.
We have some people that agree with us though, Jenna, because I'm seeing it in here. They're like yoga, celery. Y'all, don't they be coming up with the stuff? It's almost like people just start shouting out ingredients at you while your whole body is physically tripping. They're like paprika, Himalayan rock salt. You heard about Himalayan rock salt? And you're like, could you stop? Someone said earlier, patience and understanding. Yes, key. Just low key.
Yeah.
Chill. That's what we need, y'all. Just be patient with us. Be patient with us. Grace, patience, just be patient. That is going to go so very far and will be so freaking helpful, y'all. So helpful. Yep, exercise that too. Yes. Oh my goodness, y'all are killing it. Jenna Green, what are we thinking? Let's see. I feel like we've talked about so many things.
I know.
Already.
I was wondering, how do you explain to your family friends about like how they can help you? Because we talked about how not to help us, right? Like, because that's important. And we talked about how they can get to a point of understanding that they just need to give us grace and give us time and know. But you know, especially when you're first like newly diagnosed, I found it to be so hard to explain because you're not quite sure what you're going through or what you need. So I don't know if you have any advice for people on that.
I think that's super. I think what you said is super key. When I first got diagnosed, I was so depressed and so young too. It was, I didn't even really leave my apartment for a while. You know, I was so, so distressed about what was going to happen and how my life was going to look. And because there was just no background or information to find, you just kind of felt like you were staring into just like the abyss. It has not been until very recently that I have just felt strong enough to just be like, I can't today. I'm not feeling it. And I think the thing that has been most helpful for me is just owning that I am not able to do all of the normal things. That felt really frustrating to be able to admit for a while, because I don't like the pity of it. I think like I'm incapable, and I don't like that feeling. I don't like feeling incapable, or that you need and require someone else to do a thing that you should be able to do by yourself. And MS for me, takes a lot of my dignity away. It feels like. So the biggest help to me has just been acceptance from the people around me. If you continue to ride me about basic things, I've just found that I just shut down. Like, stop asking me the same thing over and over again. Like, I am working on it. You know what I mean? Like, I am working on it. It may not feel like that to you, but stuff is so much harder for me than I realize at times.
Yeah.
So it's just been the people in my life not pressuring me. It's the pressure that feels frustrating. It really does, because you're like, yes, I understand that this should be done. I understand that this should be easier. I understand that this should be XYZ. I'm telling you, it's not. I can't really understand why I can't get XYZ done. I don't know. I have no idea.
Been able to do it yesterday, but that doesn't mean I can do it today. And that is
Right.
it is
So
mentally taxing. It's mentally really hard.
yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And sometimes you gotta sit with that hard feeling.
Yeah.
Right?
It sucks because it looks so rudimentary. The things that you may be missing, or things that are falling off, or lacking. And I just think to myself, you have no idea what it's like to send a signal from your mind to your hand, and it never got there.
Yes.
It never got there. If I sit up in the morning, my body decides whether or not, like, I get to swing my feet over the side of the bed and stand up. And maybe I get to stand up, and then it also decides, well, now we don't want to do that anymore.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, cool, because I had some plans.
Right.
Okay, sweet.
They don't want to, tap dance to the other room. They
Right.
just dance right here, and that's
Right.
frustrating.
Right.
Yeah. That is frustrating, and yeah, you're like, hey, body, like get with the program, but
yeah,
it helps me personally to remember that being frustrated with myself and talking negatively to myself, or going down the lines of the shoulds, because shoulds are really they're right, like the shoulds.
Yeah.
I have a magnet that says something about the shoulds, like just cross them out, the shoulds.
Yeah.
So it helps me to remember that those emotions are not a good use of my energy, because I have such limited energy, and I know a lot of people with MS struggle with fatigue, and I personally do. struggle with fatigue. I have such limited energy that it does help me to remember. And I literally have like these things plastered on my wall. I'm a big fan of like mantras and like affirmations and things because I'm telling you, I have a magnet that's like crosses out the shoulds, like because
Yeah.
I need these visual reminders. I'm a visual learner person, which is
Mm-hmm.
good. Like I had to print that out, but you know, it's cool. I made it
Yeah.
work. They, those are a waste of my energy, and I have such limited energy to begin with that I want to use
Mm.
my energy towards living a life that I love.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, I mean, like beating myself up for not being able to do something, it's not part of a life that I love.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I feel it. I feel it. And you know, we have comments coming in. People are like, I get it. I feel it. Like I'm laying down when I should be cleaning. You're doing everything you can, Bernice.
Right?
It's all good. You're
We're
doing what you can.
all doing the best that we can. And at the end of the day,
Absolutely.
as humans, if we're all doing the best that we can, like what else can you ask for from yourself at the end of each day? Because you're going to set yourself up for a lot of failure, disappointment in your life if you feel
Yeah.
at the end of each day you did the best you could, but it wasn't enough. Like who does
Yeah.
that? Where does that come from? I don't know. That's like a societal question that's not on this paperwork. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but, you know, I just think about it, like use your energy towards things that bring you joy, and yes, there you got to have the hard emotions. You can't just pretend they don't exist. I'm not saying that they're not there, that it's not frustrating. It is. I'm with you. I get mad. There's, you know, the dog gets scared sometimes. She's very sensitive. Okay.
That's fair.
I
But I mean, I think that's it though. I think it is. We have got to, we have got to, we see a lot today about be kind and be a good person, but we are not good people to ourselves. We're not kind to ourselves. You know, even in its terminology, disability is so diminishing. Um, you lack other abilities. There are other places where you're incredibly strong. MS presents a litany of spaces that force me to shift my perspective constantly. It is constantly forcing me to deal with excavating spaces where I need to get support. Having support is not a bad thing. I'm just a really independent individual. So it's really annoying. MS annoys me. I would say anybody with it probably feels the same way. You're just kind of like, oh, this is annoying. This is dumb. So we are here. We do fight it every day. We show up every single day, y'all. And so give yourself some credit. Give yourself some credit for showing up, for being there. We are massive. We are a disease that not a lot of people understand. We have something that's going to be with us for the duration of our lives. So I'm at the place in my life, Jenna, where I am befriending it, where I'm checking in with it. And I'm just like, all right, here's what we're not going to do. Here are the things, MS. Here's what we're not going to do today. Like I don't get as frustrated. I don't throw as many things when I have the ability to because I'm so aware about all of the times I throw stuff and I don't want to throw it. How many phones I've shattered, how many dishes I've broken. You know what I mean? So now I buy plastic stuff
oh,
because it's easier for me to hold on to. Like,
I
and then I don't have to get so upset. I don't have to
right.
get so mad. It's all good. It's fine.
I bought myself a circular coffee table because it's like less bruises on my leg.
Right. The running into the bed thing is so annoying because my bed is always in the same place. Man, I run into it every day. Like, I can't believe this happened.
Like
Every
when
day.
did it get there? When did that wall get there?
Inappropriate.
Right?
And sometimes the dog will just be like, you didn't see that? And I'll be like, wow. So you just, okay. So you just gonna let that happen. Oh, cool, cool, cool. So I really do need to get a vest. I really do need to get a vest and some, yeah, toes. Toes are the worst. My toes already look crazy. It's just a mess all the time. Everything's just it's a disaster.
My toes
Anyway, y'all,
tap
we
dance.
wanted to go ahead. What were you going to say?
Oh, my toes are tap dancing. Yeah. So, they sometimes they tap
Yeah.
that wall that was just, why is it there now?
Newly built, new construction all the time. You know, it's good. We wanted to talk about MS today, of course. We talk about MS with each other all the time, with all of our other folks. We do that. It is important, y'all. It is important to keep a smile on your face. It is important to joke. It's important that the people in your life know that you can joke too. You know, sometimes I know Jenna, I know you've experienced it too. Like I make so many jokes about it. People are like, "Oh,"
Yeah.
like they're just uncomfortable, and I was like, "It's cool. I'll
Yeah.
still have it." And they're like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." And I was like, "Not as sorry as I am."
I don't need the sorry, sad, pity face. Like, my life is actually great. Thank you. Don't, like, I don't need that. Thank you. Like,
It's all good, y'all.
I'm funny. Like, you're missing out. I mean, or if you think
So
I'm funny, that's okay too. But like, you don't have to give me the pity face.
yeah, when I first got diagnosed, everyone was like spa voicing me a lot. They were like, "Oh, honey," I'm like, oh, and I was like, "So you don't even say stuff. So you just make noises like that section at Target. You remember you used to walk past that section at Target, the escapes. It was
Yeah,
just bap bap. That's what everyone sounded like at first, and I thought this is a very strange reaction from people. I was just it's very odd. People make less noises in my direction now, which is great. It's
I,
super fine. It's good.
yes. Now I think maybe it's because I'm more vocal about it now and more clear that I'm cool with it. Um,
Yeah.
I found in the beginning it was very, and sometimes still it still happens. It's very interesting to me that I feel like sometimes I feel like I disclose that I have MS to someone else, and I'm managing it, I'm befriending it, I'm trying to get to that point as well of befriending it. Like, some days more than others, but I'm befriending it. And then I have to make them feel better about my diagnosis. And that's really
hmm
strange. Like, definitely really
hmm
for me. I'm sorry that you're so sad, like, random person, that I have MS, but I'm cool with it. And you want me to make you feel better? Like, can I get you now do I offer them water? Like, I'm not sure.
That's what you do. You're like, you know what? I have some spare waters and turmeric.
Yeah.
Let me grab them. Let me just get you some of this because this is a huge give. I get a lot of this. I would like to share this with you, new person that is also very upset that I would like to give you some water and some turmeric and some celery also today.
I mean, I know that, we're joking and all. And it's so important to have these conversations, and I so love having them, because for me this is what keeps me going. This is what
Yeah.
keeps me going on the hard days, like these things to look forward to, like this community, knowing that I have this space where I can just be myself and make a silly joke, and like, someone can laugh or not or whatever, but like they get it. They get that I literally forgot the question that you asked me like 2 seconds beforehand, even though
Sure.
I have my full attention. Like they get it. And they having that community for me has been so invaluable. Like, MS 0 stars, but like this community, five stars. And
Yeah.
MS has changed my life, but it's also helped me to like find my voice and figure out how to, be my own best advocate, and how I can advocate for others that
Yeah.
aren't as privileged as I am, and like how I can help
Yeah.
to, change someone's perspective, change their perception, change some policies. I'm working on it. Um, and I really am grateful for this opportunity to partner with you, Azure, and of course,
Yeah.
um, Janssen and be supported by them on this initiative. I am so grateful. And of course, you can go to more2ms.com and learn more about how to talk with your doctor about MS, how to talk with your family. There's some great information from Azure up there. It's really fantastic. So I'm just really grateful for this space. Like you said, if we didn't have this, I don't know where I would be. I don't know. I can't imagine my life without these 5-star community people that I have now. I'm
Yeah.
so for.
Well,
So
we're not gonna have to worry about what it's gonna be like a life without this community. We're gonna keep doing this work. Jansen has been an incredible partner. We're gonna continue to do more work and find more initiatives. Again, as Jenna mentioned, please go to the website more2ms.com. There's a documentary there specifically highlighting, focusing on Black people in the Black community living with MS. There's some incredible work and research being done. Please check that out. Lisa Marie, hey sweetheart. Go take a look at that. Take a look at the surrounding communities. Jenna's doing incredible work as an advocate. The different associations, the different societies. There is a lot of folks talking. But as with any affinity, as with any disability, this is not one thing that's happening today. If you have multiple sclerosis, this is a life sentence. This is something that you will have until your life is no longer. So this is something that is happening all the time. Let us not forget that when you are advocating for any space, whether that's a disability or a person that is of a minority space, make sure to stay invested and support them by just showing up. Just show up. And sometimes that's not showing up and asking them if they need something. Educate yourself. With education, every single thing that we need as a society is possible. And kindness is key. That's to ourselves and to one another, y'all. That is it. And above all else, make sure that you are advocating for what you need. Make sure that you are advocating for your physical health, for your mental health, for the well-being of yourself, for your space. Make sure that you're safe. These are very, very trying times. Overall, no matter what party you are a part of, no matter how you vote, no matter what your blood type is, no matter where you live, this is a time of constant reflection. So we need to be focused on how we can be healthy, on how we can move forward, not looking to the right or left and not looking backwards because you're not going that way. Progress is key. Talking about that, opening up these conversations, finding spaces for levity and laughter and community. That's how we get through, y'all. Thank you, Jenna, for spending some time with me today. I appreciate it.
thank you so much. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We're so grateful.
And we'll be back. We'll be back. More2ms.com. Check it out. I'm Azure Antoinette. You have been chatting with Jenna Green, MS advocate extraordinaire and ultimate sweetheart. Happy MS Awareness Day, y'all. Happy MS Awareness Day. Stay strong. Live well with MS. And I will talk with you soon. Besos, y'all. Bye-bye.